Hi guys, it's me Samantha. I just wanted to come on and talk to you about diabetes, the gastric sleeve, um, and to kind of prepare you for what to expect with your diabetes during the gastric sleeve. So I went into the hospital on the 30th of May and my blood sugar was high. Probably because I ate something I shouldn't have before the surgery. I'm not gonna lie, but it was high. It was like in the 260s, 250s, and it just wasn't budging. And I had bolus like maybe 4 units to see if it would come down. Nothing. And actually, I stayed high until the very next morning. And then I finally did come down to like 150, 160. But yeah, so it's been interesting. I think because also I was so nervous and I was also so scared and worried, and I knew my family was scared and worried that my blood sugar just shot up. So that's kind of what happened the day of surgery. And then they call you back, they have you wiped down with these cloths, and they just ask you lots of questions. They put an IV in. You see your doctor that's going to do the surgery. You talk to him. I was like, well, I have a couple hernias. I know I have a hernia that needs to be repaired. And he said, well, I'll look at it, and if it looks really bad, I will repair it. And I said, okay, fair enough. So he did tell me that he did repair it, and it was like the size of a $50 in my stomach, the one. And he said that I had a hiatal hernia that he found two that he repaired. So that's two hernias that got repaired. And when you have a hiatal hernia and you have it repaired, it hurts. It hurts to drink at the beginning, and it probably hurts for the first 2 weeks because think about it, you just had something repaired and you just feel it going down, and it kind of it burns. So if you have a hiatal hernia, I recommend that you take it easy on the liquid diet and everything. Because sometimes I would try to take big gulps and it hurt really bad going down. So I just recommend that you just sip, 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 and take it slow too. Also, what else is I going to talk about? Blood sugars after it. On the liquid diet, I would say I probably had the most lows only in the evening, like the early morning times, only because if you think about it, you're up during the day. So you're drinking, you have time to do stuff, and my blood sugar sometimes, like this morning, I woke up at like 3 something and it was like 70 or in this like 73. So I did have some peanut butter and then I went and laid back down and after checking it, and it was 92 again. So things like that. And the peanut butter that I have, it's not that high in carbs, but it's high enough to keep me where I need to be. So when I got up this morning, it was like 120, even after having the peanut butter. And I only get 1 unit an hour at night. So at night, my basal rate is at 1 unit. Now, throughout the day, like the early mornings, like I think now, my basal rate is at 1.4. So from 7 a.m. until about 8 p.m., it's 1.4. At 8 p.m., I have it go to 1.2. I have it kind of go down because it seems like the evenings sometimes I tend to drop a little lower, And then sometimes also at night I drop even lower, or I try to, because if you think about it, you're not eating many carbs, and when you do go to bed, you want to still have some blood in your sugar so that when you only get 1 unit an hour, that you don't tend to drop too low. 70, 73 is okay. I've woken up many mornings like that. But plus I always get up at 3. I have to go to work at that time anyway. So, and I'm about to go back to work too. So this will be interesting to see how going back to work and my blood sugars react, because I do a lot of physical stuff at work too. So that will be another post that I do, going back to work after surgery and all that stuff, and diabetes on top of it. But yeah, a lot of mornings I do get up at 73, and then I don't really have anything but my decaf coffee, and I do put Fiber One in it, and that has a little bit of a carb in it too, which is like, what, 4 grams of carbs, 5 grams of carbs, but then it does raise it up. So I'm sure if I check it now, it is a little higher, but yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. What else should we talk about? So expect to get some lows at night. And this might be good for you guys, is to get a continuous glucose monitor. That way you can kind of see how your numbers are going to change at night, especially on the liquid diet. The liquid diet was the scariest for me, only because I think I still had my basal rate kind of high, like 1.4. And before the surgery, I was on 2 units an hour, which is crazy. Crazy. And now here I am at like 1.2, 1.4, you know. So during the day, I do need 1.4. But when I am not awake and sleeping, I need maybe 1 or 1.2. So that's what I have been keeping it at. And it has helped for the most part. So, yeah. But, and they took me off a lot of my meds, like my lisinopril for my blood pressure, my Lipitor it was for my cholesterol, and the heart doctor put me on that. They actually don't want me to be on that anymore, so that's a good thing. I get to come off of that. And they did lower my my thyroid medicine, because thyroid disease goes right along with type 1 diabetes and diabetes in general. So yes, I do have hypothyroidism, where my thyroid doesn't make all that it's supposed to. Well, my endocrinologist told me my labs last time were low, that I have hyperthyroidism, or was it hyper? No, that it was too high. It was too high or something, that I'm on too high of a dose. So she said, we're going to change you to 75 micrograms instead of 100 micrograms. So that's kind of interesting. And then what else can I tell you guys? I decided to get this surgery because, for one, I have diabetes. 2, I work in a dialysis clinic. 3, I have 1 kidney. And I want to take care of myself. This is my year to take care of myself. I have put my husband, my son, and everybody else first, and I haven't taken care of myself in a very, very long time. I mean, I have, but I haven't taken the best care of myself. Do you know what I mean? And everybody is going to have their reasons for getting the surgery done. And people can say, well, you did it and it's an easy way out. No, it's not. No, it's not. If I'm determined to do something, I'm going to do it to the fullest extent. I'm going to put an effort in what I eat and what I'm doing every day. Every morning now, I get up and I go for a walk. I go for a walk about a mile or less. And it helps me refocus my mind to think about other things other than wanting to go in that kitchen and wanting to look at food and see all that is in there that I shouldn't be eating and touching. And you know what? This past month has been like one of the hardest months of my life. But it has helped me refocus my mind to teach myself that I don't need that food to nourish my body. I need protein and lean things to nourish my body with, rather than eating candy and cookies and sodas. And I mean, I can live without soda. Soda is not a problem to live without. But like the chocolate and the cookies and the fried stuff and all that, I mean, I look at it now like, ew. Even like, I made mashed potatoes last night and I'm just like, I don't even want it, you know? So, it takes a lot of self-control, and you really, really have to have your mind right to have this surgery done. I can't express it enough that you have to be able to say no, and you have to be able to determine, what do I need to nourish my body opposed to what do I really want from my head. Because your head could be saying, I want to eat this. I want to eat noodles. I want to eat all this carbs. And carbs and food is such a strong addiction. It's like a drug. And this is one of the things that I've struggled with. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm working through it. I'm getting through it. And I just wanted to tell you guys that even as a type 1 diabetic, I have a food addiction. I love food, and I love to flavor food, and I love to eat food, and food makes me happy. But, I'm trying to find happiness in other things, like trying to walk, do exercise, and maybe watching a TV show I don't normally get to watch, I like to scrapbook, so I bought some scrapbooking stuff to do. What else? I started the YouTube channel because nobody out here talks about type 1 diabetes and the gastric sleeve. And when I tried to YouTube it or look it up on Google, nobody out there had it done except for one lady, but she didn't have like a YouTube channel or anything. And I thought to myself, this is my experience. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm never going to get off of insulin, but I'm learning to control my diabetes better, and I'm learning to make better choices with my eating habits and with my lifestyle choices. So that's why I started my channel. And that's why I want to do this, so that you guys have the information firsthand from me. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns or want to ask anything, please leave comments down below. I will answer you. And please, please, please subscribe. because I try to put videos up as much as possible, talking about my experience. And if you have any suggestions or things you would like me to talk about, or for me to show you, I can. So let me know down in the comments below as well. But just if you're on this journey to getting this surgery done and you are type 1 diabetic and you have an addiction to food and you feel like, I don't know if I can stop eating or if I can let go of that addiction, you have to be able to, because on that liquid diet, it is so hard, especially when you see your family cooking meatloaf and meatballs and having Chinese noodles, and all you can eat right now is liquids, pure liquids, and then you're only allowed to eat pureed stuff like creamy soups and oatmeal and grits and like sweet potatoes. So it takes a lot of self-control. You have to have that self-control. You have to really work on your addiction, because addiction is strong. I have an addiction to food. I wish I didn't, but I do. I know this is going to be an ongoing addiction that I'm going to have to constantly fight to not want to eat certain things, especially when I go back to work. So I challenge you and I encourage you to really start working on your mindset. And really ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? If you don't know why you're doing this, it's going to make it a lot harder when you look at that food later on to say, I just had gastric sleeve surgery. My stomach's small now. I can just eat whatever. I won't eat as much though. No. That's not how it works. I eat to nourish my body. I don't overeat. I try to drink one of those protein shakes a day. And I drink lots and lots of water every day. I walked the longest walk I think I've ever walked yesterday. I think I overdid it, but I did get it done, and I'm very proud of myself. It's almost like you start walking and it becomes like an addiction. Like you feel the high from walking and you're just like, let me see how far I can go. And then by the time you're there, you're like, oh, I've already made it this halfway there, so I might as well just continue on. But I really do encourage you guys to refocus and relearn to say no, and to say, do I need that? Do I need that for my body, or do I want it for my body? Like yesterday I wanted something sweet and I had seen chocolate in there. They have this chocolate cake in the kitchen, and it's been sitting there. And I keep looking at it saying, if they don't eat it, I am going to throw it out. And I will. I will throw it out. I've already told them that if they don't eat it, it's getting thrown out. So, if it's still there by the end of today, I am throwing it out because it's been a while that it's been there and I'm tired of looking at it. And I thought yesterday, oh, maybe I could just have a lick of icing. No, Sam, you do not need that. And it's not like I can't have it later on down the road. I'm not saying I can't ever have it again. You can have it. It's just right now you're in this stage and you're still post-op of like a little less than a month. So I'm trying to stick and be diligent with it. You know what I mean? So, all right, I'm going to stop talking. But I thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you learned something. Thumbs up if you did. Thumbs up if you like this. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And also, please leave comments down below if you need to ask me any questions or anything. I will respond to you, I promise you. So, thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.